Welcome to Rectory Ramblings for the Feast of Mark the Evangelist. Yeah, let's see if I can calm it down a little bit.
Yeah, there you go. That looks more presentable. Now we're not going to be able to use any of that footage from the first half of the video.
Yeah, Betsy will probably cut it all out.
Yeah.
In the first reading, we hear about Mark. St. Paul is talking to... Who is he talking to again?
He's talking through Sylvanus.
It's actually a letter from St. Peter.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good.
Yeah,
that's
that
a
would
good
be
point.
good. Talks about the chosen one of Babylon sends you green, as does Mark, my son. Mark was a disciple, you could say, of Peter. Yeah, eventually he went on to found the church in Alexandria.
In the middle of the reading, you see the passage, "Be sober and vigilant." That's one that's very familiar to us from Tuesday night prayer. But it's kind of cool to see the whole reading in its context because it ends pretty abruptly in the middle of a sentence there. But I really like what comes next, so I'll just read the whole thing. "Be sober and vigilant. Your opponent, the devil, is prowling like a roaring lion, looking for someone to devour." Sounds kind of scary, which, I mean, we should be on alert for that reason. "Resist him steadfast in faith." And I think that's where it stops in the breviary, but right after it says, "knowing that your brothers and sisters throughout the world undergo the same suffering." So it might be appropriate today that we are celebrating an apostle because it reminds us of the universal church, the beginning of that universal church, and that Christians all over the world are enduring suffering, persecution, even more so than in the U.S., and we're united in the church to their suffering. Yeah, knowing that your brothers and sisters throughout the world are undergoing the same, maybe even a greater suffering, that sense of solidarity in the spiritual life.
Yeah, it's kind of the two lions that we have here. We have, the roaring lion of the devil, and it's true, like, sometimes it really does feel like he's attacking us, that, he's going to devour us. But we also have the winged lion of the evangelist Mark.
Yeah.
And, how do we approach or combat evil or the devil with, like, the lion, the witch, and the wardrobe? Aslan was pictured as a lion. And so we have that, sense that, that we can be fierce in Christ as well to combat the devil, combat Satan. And, to be fierce in sharing the gospel. And the gospel today, Jesus is taken up into heaven. And then they're supposed to go out and share the gospel with all nations, with the whole world. The apostles went to the four corners of the known world at that time. And, we too, in our own ways, are called to evangelize, to share the gospel.
Yeah, again, and maybe a difficult message for us today. When we're isolated, it might seem like it's difficult to spread the gospel, but there are obviously unique ways to do that. This is our attempt of fulfilling that gospel passage here, however lacking it might be. But
we could also share the gospel of love with our family members, even when they're not being so loving to
themselves.
us.
Yeah.
Yes.
That you can know that other people are enduring that suffering throughout the church, or maybe even just next door.
I think that's what siblings are for, to make us realize that we're not perfect.
Oh, yeah. That's what seminarians are for, too, right?
Okay, yes. Very much so.
But yeah, maybe wrapping this back around to that, being sober and alert, that doesn't mean that we're anxiously, like, looking around for the different ways that the devil is trying to trick us, because obviously the anxieties, as it says in Matthew, the anxieties for today are sufficient. You don't need to be adding any more anxieties or thinking ahead or being anxious about things that we don't need to be anxious about. But being sober and alert can be as simple as just another broken record saying, but keeping our eyes fixed on Jesus and being obedient to what he asks us to do, because I think in that way we can also become aware of the ways that we're being tempted and tricked into maybe doing a little bit less than what we're supposed to, or doing the opposite of what we're supposed to.
Yeah, very much. Keep your eyes fixed on Jesus.
Well, I was going to say I did, but yeah, he's up over there. Sometimes I look up over there.
Yeah. We have a little icon up here. So
maybe we'll rotate the camera one day so you can see it.
Yeah. So thank you for listening and take care and God bless.
Yeah, God bless.
His symbol is the winged lion.
I wish I had my Bible on me so I could flash that up there, but I don't have it.
So you have a picture of a winged lion?
Yeah, and they have all 4 gospel writers on the top of the RSV.
Cool.
Yeah.
We could just flap.
But you kind of look like you have a lion's mane going on.
Oh yeah,
up there.
that's right. I need a haircut.
Yeah, me too. David Cruz, if you're still watching this, I need a haircut. But we'll pay him very handsomely.
Can we do social distancing haircuts?
Yeah, he can just put it on a metal pole and I think shave us from the distance, you know.
Okay. If I don't want a buzz cut.
Yeah, well, desperate times call for desperate measures. Sorry, that's the only haircut on the menu.
I don't think I have a very good-looking scalp, but we'll worry about that another day.